Hey guys, I just got back from the gym, so I'm a little grody, but we're gonna go ahead and film a vlog style video. If you watched my last one, you know I've just graduated school and took my first software engineer job. And we just got through like the first month of being here, new job, new place. So I'm gonna give you some updates. We're gonna do this while I play with the dog. That way she's not bored. I'm just sitting there. So obviously moving sucked, as it always does. I was able to fit all my stuff that I needed in a 5x8 U-Haul and pull it with the car. I chose the apartment that was as close to work as possible, that had a full washer and dryer. That ended up being less than a mile from work, which is pretty sweet. I've never had an apartment that close. Rent is $1,600, and my first utilities are adding up to about $150. I've got $75 for electric, $30 for internet, $15 for gas and trash, and then my renter's insurance, which is pretty cheap. First couple weeks at work were mostly compliance training. I think like the bigger the company, the more annual training you have to do. Because it's a bank, there was a lot of risk training, cybersecurity stuff, money laundering training, etc. I don't know, you guys may or may not have experienced it. It's not really worth talking about, but it is chill, and it's not like you're getting paid a lower wage while you're training versus working, so I'm okay with it. By week 3, I had all the compliance training done, and I grabbed my first development task, which was to add a table to our database as part of our modernization. That involved a couple more subsequent tasks and a lot of meetings and coordination, approvals, and so on. Being a big company, there's a lot of checks to go through for changing something in production, but I think it was last Monday night that did get pushed to production, so that was my first time doing that. And I got my first hour of overtime, which is pretty sweet. So I go into the office 4 days a week, even though my team is actually in another city. And I get 1 day remote. At work, I buy my lunch out of the cafeteria, and I always get 2 lunches. I get a hot meal to eat then, and then I get pretty much the biggest salad I can make with tons of protein to have for dinner later on. If they're a healthy choice meal or whatever, I get half off the price. So it ends up being pretty much the cost of ingredients. And I hate cooking, so the take-home dinner works for me, gives me that free time in the evening. Sometimes I eat breakfast in the cafeteria, but usually I'll just make one of those Huel milkshakes. I swear this dog doesn't normally want to chew this bone this much. I think it's just because we're filming and it's loud. In my free time, I've been going to a lot of parks to take walks. Usually the dog parks, but sometimes just the regular ones as well. We have a decent amount around here, and they're pretty nice, taken care of. I've also been joining a run group on Saturdays. They meet super early, 5:30, and there's also a 6 a.m. meetup during the week. It's a cool thing to get involved in because obviously, you know, it's a healthy thing to do, and there's a bit of a social time after. They usually go to a coffee shop and hang out and talk after. We also have these like AstroTurf area with food booths and bars that are dog friendly. So I've checked out a couple of those. Take her on like a Saturday evening if I want. The running group is probably my best chance at making friends, that and the dog park. I'm kind of shy, so I've never been very good at meeting people at bars, or really just haven't been super deliberate about making friends when I live in new places before. But as I've gotten older, it just kind of feels more and more wrong to be isolated so much. And I do notice that it's not the best for my mental health. I have a lot of really good friends. They're just not here. They're all at least 1,000 miles away, with the exception of one who is about 45 minutes away. We haven't hung out for about 5+ years, but I think we're gonna get together. I just reached out today. Aside from the walks and the run groups, I've been trying to lift weights pretty regularly. Definitely for me, that and the running really gets the demons out, if you know what I mean. If any of you have struggled with depression and you found exercise as a way to at least numb it a little bit. It's mandatory for me. If I go more than a few days without a run or a lift, I'm not well. Lately though, my knee has been bothering me, so I've had to really adjust my weightlifting routine. I think it's part of that, just getting older, and I probably don't stretch enough, so I'll be working on that in the future. I have not really been able to relax per se in my free time, so I've been unable to sit down and play video games or watch TV. I'm not sure what's going on with that, and maybe it'll pass and it's just a little bit of anxiety or nerves from the new everything. I've got a real nice Alienware computer over there. It's actually up for sale on Marketplace. I figure I'll just sell it and buy some Bitcoin or something, and when I want a gaming computer again in a year or two, I can just rebuy it. I've been really hesitant to take on coding side projects now, do coding for fun essentially. I really don't want to get burnt out. I've had kind of a manic depressive work ethic previously in life, and I'll go real hard and make something real good, but then I kind of crash and I just need all this time to recover, and I'm trying to find a more sustainable way to go about my work, and especially balancing working for money and also investing in skills outside of work and trying to stay fresh and current. But for now, I just started this job, so I'm just giving myself a little bit of a free pass as far as the self-development. A lot of the problem for me when I try and watch TV or play video games is just this sense of guilt. Like, I'm either not playing with the dog or I'm not, improving myself. And I think that's the reason I finally made a freaking YouTube video where I get on camera, because it was like I'm just grasping for something different, something new. And I know I can keep making coding projects and they'll be cool, and I know I can keep finding video games that are fun to play, but I really just want to figure out what's next, do something different. That about wraps up all the updates I have. I really have no complaints. Life is pretty good. I wish it was a little less hot here. This is not my normal climate, not where I would choose, but I had to follow the money in this case. So I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out. And as far as I can tell, my team's pretty awesome. My manager just quit, so I'm not sure about my manager, who they're gonna be next. Hopefully not some spaz who's never managed a team before. But generally, the people I work with are very chill and very understanding of me, getting up to speed. And they're almost like telling me to just chill out a little bit and not worry so much about being productive. So it's nice to be erring on the side of getting up to speed too quickly. The making friends part is gonna be a challenge. As I said, definitely more of an introvert loner type, but trying to recover from that and invest in some new friendships. I think it's worth putting in the time. It is a little harder as you get our age or my age, but it can be done. Thank you for watching. I know a lot of you have precious little time, so I appreciate you putting some of it into watching this video. I need help on my next video topic. I'll see how this vlog style does, and if you guys like it, I'll keep doing them, but otherwise I'll come up with something different. But I do have like 3 ideas for a video. I was wondering if you'd help me choose. Yeah, I need to check my notes. Let's see. One, I could do more about my background. So I had a pretty non-standard upbringing, you could say. I moved a lot. I lived in a semi-truck and skipped a couple grades of school when I was really young. I hiked a big chunk of the Appalachian Trail, like 2/3 of it. I rode a bike through Southeast Asia, lived in a van, served in 2 branches of the military with a gap in between. Never married, no kids. So definitely not doing the normal playbook. Another idea I had about a video was, how I stopped kind of being angry and pessimistic. I struggled with that a lot when I was younger. I even got I remember my friends making fun of me back in high school, like, dude, why are you so pissed off all the time? What's wrong with you? And then when I was in the Air Force, I kind of got dumped by my friend group there for a while because they were just like, dude, you're too negative, you're too pessimistic. And I don't know where that came from. It's kind of weird, but I was able to defeat it, and it was a long process, to be honest, and I still struggle with that and work on it. My sense of humor tends to be self-deprecating and a little dark. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of that part of it, especially after serving in the Army. Like, that's just how you roll. But, you know, I'm trying to just be more positive in general. And that video would be talking about, you know, how I'm kind of mitigating depression through learning, exercise, volunteering, and just intentionally working on shifting my perspective. My third video idea is just my exit strategy. You know, I finally got this job, and it's like a real job. It's the real deal. And, you know, although this company isn't one of the places that pays exorbitant salaries to their mids and senior level engineers, it's definitely a stepping stone where I can get to those kind of companies if I get myself up to speed on, you know, the skills needed in those more intense interviews. So I have my number in mind, and I just got to get to that number. And, you know, I need to do it with less risk than buying, you know, some stupid altcoin and hoping it goes to the moon. You know, I'm doing it more with index funds and, you know, some crypto, but the more stable ones, and also just trying to think about being defensive against lifestyle creep. And I think over the years I've developed a thought process around spending money that's pretty solid. And, you know, it's not about just being completely a hermit and not going out and never spending any money, but it's making sure that the mental health return on investment when you spend money on an experience is worth it versus what that money would get you if it compounds and gets you time in retirement later on. So that's it. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. You totally threw me off guard with all those subs on the last video. So now I'm trying to get my shit together and make more videos. Keep riding this thing, because I have not been a consistent uploader. I think I just chose a magic happy combination of keywords for my video, and the timing was right, and the algorithm kept putting it in your newsfeed. But normally that stuff is reserved for people who have been consistently uploading for a while. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm thankful for it, and I'm thankful for you guys. All right, take care.